What a Robo Fiends, it's your boy Dak 908 aka the Dig Dug himself. Got a nice build for you guys today. Compliments from Cheng himself. Hooked your boy up with this build in particular. We was working on it. My build was like this. His build was like exactly, this is exactly what his build was. Mine was quite similar to it. I gave up on some of my parts, went for his parts that made a little bit more sense. But in the long run, this is a Sentry build. It was built ground up for the sole purpose of thinking that, yo, if I throw down these little bitty things on the ground, maybe, just maybe, I might be able to come out on top with the win or whatnot. And the Sentry build is actually a very, very viable build, so let's get right into it. Okay, starting from the bottom, or the top rather. Actually, no, the bottom of the legs. Okay, we chose these legs right here, these quad legs. L4B107, two reasons. They're fast. Actually, they're just fast. Check it. They're the fastest in the category, with a movement control of 4,725. There's other legs like it. This one in particular, this one right here. It's not as fast, but if you want more defenses, like you want to have a little bit more bulk to your build, you can go with this one. You can see it has more AP defense and pretty much all the defenses and everything else. It has a higher load capacity in case you want to add on a couple other things or whatever, want to change certain little parts. But for the most part, it's the same build with the same legs, but like bulky. We chose to go with the 4.7s because we want a little bit more speed to this build, because speed is kind of a thing that you're going to really need to use when you come to this build. You're going to get all the speed you can get because you have to be able to move due to the fact that you can't necessarily attack effectively on your own. So we chose these legs, well not those, but these for that purpose. Get to move around a little bit, and the low capacity is pretty nice. Move over to the arms. These arms, these weren't the original arms, these were my arms. But the original arms was the aftermarket model to these, the Agamaki Model 3s. These right here are too heavy, but what we wanted these arms for was the defense. Now, its firing stability is a bit better than the ones I have chosen right now, but its real reason is the defense has a much higher defense capability to it. So you're looking at AP of about 1,500 more. You know what I mean? So you can't really get mad at 1,500 more AP. So that's why we chose those arms. But if you don't have those arms, you can go with these. It does have a lot lower weight, a little less energy consumption, so you can probably do a few more things. But or if you want that little extra buffer, you got it. Moving to the core, this core is tried and true. Okay, everyone's been using this core for forever. I don't really need to give you guys an introduction or reasons to why I chose this core, but I will. AP and KE defenses. On a core, it's pretty much the best you got. Alright, this is it. And it has a pretty decent amount of recon units with 80, which is, you can't be mad at that. That's great stuff. Moving over to the head. This head was a pretty interesting choice. It's like kind of wanting the best of both worlds. You know, you wanted scan performance, which is a good thing, because you're going to be scanning quite a bit with your, because you want to see what the enemy has. Okay, because you can't attack him directly, you're more focused on what your opponent is, what weapons he has, how much of it he has left, things like that. So you're going to want to scan a little bit more than you would actually think you're going to, and you're going to spend a lot of time in scan mode once you get set up. So we chose this head so that way you have stability that rivals next to CE, stability and cam performance that rival next to CE heads, but you still have that great scanning performance, that 134 scanning performance is really good. And this is like the bridging gap head in this game for you. So not a lot of people use this head. I use it every now and then, but not on too many builds. But this is pretty much the reason why. It is that gap between both. Okay, moving to the FCS. This FCS right here, it is a wide angle FCS. This FCS gives us the maximum number of subunits, aka Sentry, that you can have out in the field at one time, which is 4. Also, it's pretty decent when it comes to jammers, if you want to run jammers on your Sentry build as well, because jammers necessarily, they work pretty well too. You can throw out some jammers where your enemy can't move and throw down some subunits so they just attack them repetitively. I don't know, it takes a lot of practice to actually get that to work really well, but regardless, subunits, this is the most you'll get in the game, so it's the one that you really want to use. So straight up. Moving over to the generator and the booster, I'm not really going to tell you guys why I chose this generator and that booster, because we all know what just this generator does. it is the maximum, not necessarily the maximum, but in terms of like, this is the maximum. You're gonna get your max energy output with this one, but this one is a good one. It's all around. And then the booster right here, we know what this booster is about, so I'm not gonna talk about that. Moving over to the weapons, because it's the important stuff. Now, for this build, sentries, you're gonna be relying solely on these things to pretty much do all the fighting. So we chose 2 sentries. We chose the Gatling gun sentry, which is this one, and the missile sentry. So that way, when you set them down and try to set up your trap, so to speak, you want the Gatling guns and the missiles to kind of pretty much make the enemy not focus on you so much. You want to lay down so much suppressing fire with your sentries so that they don't really have a chance to, because they're going to get hit by all this. It's not going to hurt a lot, but if you have all your sentries laid out, it's going to hurt enough to make them want to, move away from the area or find out where the sentries are placed at and shoot them down first. So it's gonna play a really good, border patrol type of role. So kind of like protecting an area. You kind of bunker down, throw down these sentries. They're gonna come at you. They're gonna shoot, and it's gonna be a bunch of crap that's gonna like bother you. So just whatever. You're not gonna really want to mess with those. So that's why we chose these 2 together. The Gatling gun will kind of keep them pinned down, and the missiles will keep them trying to move a bit because they don't want to get hit by the missiles, which no one wants to get hit by missiles. So straight up, really good combination right there. Moving over to these missiles. These missiles are really, really interesting. These missiles, in my opinion, was chosen due to the fact that you don't actually have to lock on to launch these bad boys. They will go and find the target. Now, that's really dope because your FCS does not have a very good lock-on range. So, to still have offensive capabilities while not necessarily within range to attack, because you want to kind of keep your distance until you can lay your trap down right nice and tight, is actually a really, really good thing. So this missile will take care of that for you. Me personally, I'm a vertical missile kind of guy, but due to this FCS having some really bad limitations, your range is only like about 100, you kind of have to compensate for that, and this is a good missile to compensate that for. Now moving to the back weapons, simple. I'm running a heat machine gun. Reason being, throw down a lot of suppressive fire, and if you get hit one of these rounds, they do quite a bit of damage, you know what I mean? So, decent part. You can get away with either this or a Gatling gun. A Gatling gun that I would probably use would be either this one I was playing around with, or one of these right here. These are pretty decent Gatling guns as well. You just kind of want to have something to keep the enemy knowing that, there's still bite to this build, you know what I mean? So you can either run either of those machine guns, get away with either one of them. It's still both fine. Now for the last piece of this build, we're going to finish up with a shield. Now, reason being, because since we're not very offensive, playing a really defensive role, you kind of want to have a shield so that you can, block some of this hater raid that's going to be spilt all over you, because people are going to want to come to you and you can't necessarily go to them. So it's a weird thing. You're playing defense, so why not literally play defense? So there you go. Anyway, guys, this is the build. Okay, Sentry build. If you guys have any questions or anything like that, go ahead and hit me with those in the comment section. If you have any requests for other builds, let me know and I'll get to those as soon as I can. I'll probably make a video of the most interesting one I see, or the one that's probably the most viable, or the one that could probably get done within a reasonable amount of time, and that will probably benefit a wider range of people. This is a very interesting build. It's a sentry gun build, and I know not a lot of people want to actually make it, but it's a thing that every now and then you're like, I wonder if I can get away with sentries kind of thing. So that's why I chose to go with this one. It's really nice. But anyway, guys, this is your boy Dak Down the Way, aka the Dig Dug himself. I'm signing off on this one. Like I said, if you got any other questions, anything like that, hit me in the comments section. Alright, guys, take care.